Welcome to Psychotria's Tech Treasures, the series where I showcase some of the unique games, gadgets, and tech in my collection and share the stories behind them. Today, we're taking a look at the black sheep of the Zelda franchise, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. There's not much I can say about The Adventure of Link that hasn't been said already. It was a direct sequel to the original Zelda from 1986 and was a radical departure from its predecessor. Because of this, the game is considered one of the most polarizing entries in the Zelda franchise. I didn't get my hands on a copy of Zelda 2 until sometime in the early 2000s. When I was a kid, the consoles of choice were the Super Nintendo and the N64. I didn't get to experience the NES until years later when I found one at a garage sale. I bought both Zelda games at the same time from a used game store called the Dragon's Den. I distinctly remember the guy there telling me something about how the gray Zelda carts were worth more than the gold ones. I don't know, I never followed up on his claims, but it didn't matter to me. I had the cash and I wanted those games. My copy of Zelda 2 came with the box and the manual, albeit they're in pretty bad shape. The corners of the box are all frayed and the cover is completely separated from the manual. The cartridge itself is in decent condition, but there's something else that makes my copy of Zelda 2 different from everybody else's. Tucked away deep inside the box, I found some hand-drawn maps and a set of directions from a previous owner. This is so cool. It's one of my favorite parts of buying used games. It's almost like I'm a video game archaeologist, and this is what remains of a long-lost civilization. If archaeology is the study of human activity through artifacts, then I guess you could call this arcadeology, the study of gamer activity through nerdifacts. Take this writing, for example. I might as well be deciphering hieroglyphics. The first page describes the location of several items and spells. Upon closer inspection, it becomes clear that this is a list of all the in-game hints given to you by the NPCs from different villages. This line that says, "Get Candle in Parappa Palace, go west," is the exact line of text an NPC in the village of Rauru says. Further down the page, it seems to detail some extra steps for solving a notoriously convoluted puzzle involving a character named Error. The backside has a map of a couple of dungeons and points out the treasures that they hide. We have the candle in the first dungeon, the glove in the second, and the raft in the third. The other page is harder to read, but I think it describes the locations of a few other items and the wise men in certain villages. On the back, there are partial maps of two unnamed dungeons, both of which are written in pencil. It really makes me wonder about the journey this game took to get to me. Who owned it? Why did they sell it? How old were they? Whose handwriting is this? Since I bought the game sometime around 2004, 17 years after its initial release, it's hard to guess when these notes were written. But judging by the discoloration of the paper and the consistent use of cursive, I think it would be safe to say it was written closer to 1987 than 2004. It's kind of funny. I don't really care much about the condition of the box or the manual. It's these hand-drawn maps and the stories that they tell that are most important to me. With the popularity of digital downloads, finding messages from past owners is pretty much ancient history. Even if you bought a used game on physical media, there's no reason to expect to find written hints. Internet walkthroughs come out almost immediately upon a game's release, and with such exhaustive knowledge about a game available at your fingertips, there's not much need to write things down anymore. Nowadays, it's more trouble than it's worth to set up and play classic games on their original consoles. Modern HD TVs often struggle with upscaling and playing back the original low-resolution graphics. And with the abundance of emulators and virtual consoles, there's not really much incentive to hold on to the original hardware. But it's finding things like this that make collecting worthwhile. So next time you're out at the thrift store and you find an old game still in the box, open it up and see what's inside. You might just find yourself a nerdifact of your own. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll think about subscribing. Your support encourages me to keep making videos like these.